Hey everyone, this is Shah, and I'm the Senior R&D Engineer at Impact Plastics ICPG. Been with Impact for just about 4 years now, and joined SP just about the same time, right after my graduation. That was just about the time. Uh, just past July 2020, I volunteered to be the chair for Young Professionals Committee, and that was about the time when we were planning to host an event for Young Professionals Committee. Given the time of pandemic when most of the events were going virtual, we decided to talk about something that where most of the new normal is going from physical to virtual. So we thought, well, why not talk about electronics and the medium that is being used for it? So plastics in electronics. So that's how we came about on why we chose plastics in electronics. So
My name is Adam Cohen. I've been in SPE for nearly 10 years now, joined as an undergraduate student when I was at Lehigh University, been extremely active ever since, go to a ton of conferences, just recently finished up Color and Appearance last week. So SPE's been keeping me very busy the past few weeks, which is a good thing during the pandemic. You're at home a lot. So having these conferences, especially the ones that are covered under your membership, I had a really valuable experience. I work in the footwear and apparel industry. Prior to that, I worked in polymers for insulating conductive polymers in the utility industry. So I feel like having this program, this learning module at the end of the week is a really great way to see the future of how electronics are going to be used in plastics and really get the brain juices flowing, especially when you combine circuitry into polymeric materials, which I'm super excited about. So hopefully you can join us for this one-day learning lesson, and it's all covered under your SPE membership.
Hi, I'm Erin Keaney. I am COO and co-founder of Nonspec. We make adjustable prosthetic limbs for amputees, and we use plastic and metal to make that happen. We actually manufacture ourselves in Lowell, Massachusetts. I also am a research scientist at UMass Lowell, and I've been doing a lot in the flexible hybrid electronics space. And it's really awesome to see that we're able to bring an event together specifically around the plastics materials involved in the electronic space. I know that it's an industry that involves a lot of people from one end to the other. And it's really great that we can start bringing people together to make sure that we're talking the same language about the materials that we're using.
So, hi, I'm Sneha Bhur. As the people already on the video know, but so I did my master's in plastics engineering from UMass Lowell, and after that I've been working for a compounding manufacturer, and right now I'm working in medical industry.
So what is it that one topic that you guys are really interested in from all the speakers and sessions that we have lined up?
Yeah, I'm looking at the agenda right now, and definitely for me, unrelated to the field I'm in, but plastics in the medical industry from NTech, I think that should be exciting in my opinion, because I'm really curious about how the electronics portion plays into the medical industry, completely out of my realm of experience. So I'm really excited to learn something that I honestly know very little about.
So I deal a lot with conductive packaging, and especially for the electronics market, obviously, but even for the medical packaging. So conductive has something that is one of the product lines that I started for Impact Plastics. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. And now conductive packaging and that combined, or not combined, but that going on with the flexible variables, that should be really interesting. But the other topic that I was really interested in is from David Masato. He's talking about the direct write on injection molding. So that is really fascinating. Yeah. Have you guys heard or have you guys learned anything about that? Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I should have, because I'm in the UMass Lowell ecosystem. So I'm also looking forward to learning about more about what he's doing in research. For the morning session, I'm excited about the plastics in medical, because I am normally working in the medical space. And I've seen a lot of discussions on how wearables are being adapted using flexible electronics. And it's exciting to see the kinds of things that we are starting to be able to monitor on the human body. And then during the afternoon session, I'm excited because I recruited Art Wall to come talk about NextFlex. So They're out in California and they have some amazing equipment and do a lot of really cool research experiments and things, but they're really connected with a lot of partners. So it's amazing to see what industry can bring together and universities can come together to work on. So I'm excited to share that with the plastics community because I've worked on so many grants under NextFlex.
That's great. And there is also one of the sessions that I'm really interested in, the flexible wearables, and especially from our tool, the NextFlex. So I looked up their website. It is really interesting, and the amount of work and the research that's been going on with them and connected with the industry. And somewhere I saw that you can even join NextFlex. So I'm trying to see how Impact and ICPG can be part of it. So let's hope I can get to learn something from NextFlex and maybe somewhere I can be part of it someday.
I feel that that is so interesting, and it's going to be like changing a lot of things in electronics industry is what I think. I don't know how prevalent it is already in the industry. So that is one talk that I'm looking forward to.
And I think, Jimmy, you touch on a really good point, especially for anybody who is a young professional or looking at a way to really make themselves offer something unique to their current employer or move into a new industry. Is these trainings that SPE offers really exposes you to something you may not know a lot about. And going into a non-parallel learning opportunity can help you bring novel ideas into your current job, might help you say, hey, maybe I want to be in the electronics industry. And with the remote session at the end of the day, you might make that connection virtually with someone who might help transition you into a role that you haven't been in, or spark an idea that might help build partnerships between companies that maybe don't normally work together.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm excited to host the afternoon session. And it'll be right after the plastics interview someone, I think TBD right now during the lunch break. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you all on Thursday.
I think the really unique part about this week's conference is it was organized by the young professionals of SPE. So these are people that are maybe within the first 10 years at a school. So it's really nice to see how the fresher generation of SPE is starting to shape the future of SPE. And to keep the momentum strong, we really want to make sure we're bringing in new members. So if you are a fresher SPE member, even if you're 15, 20 years into your industry, but new to SPE, this is a really good way for you to just spend a day, learn about something new, get involved in SPE for a little bit. It's a one-day commitment. It's included in your membership. I can't emphasize how much of a great opportunity this is, even if you don't work with electronic materials.
Yeah, especially when you are on your phone and your laptop is 24/7, why not just learn a little bit more about how they're made or what goes behind that? So it would be a great learning for not just for young professionals, but for everybody.
Yeah, and we'll be at the remote table at the end of the day. So if you want to see us virtually another time, come on over.
There you go.
I guess the last thing is if you want to attend and there's specific talks you want to attend, or you have other meetings during the day, you can always jump in and out. So that schedule where it says we're going to start the talk is when we're going to start the talk. So we have some gaps in between. You can stretch your legs, go for walks, get water, food, and just make it as enjoyable as you want from home.
Yeah, and it's free. It's virtual. Join it.
By the way, NGAB stands for Next Generation Advisory Board, and we're actually turning it into more of a young professional community, and we want to have students and young professionals who are either new to the field or newly out of college to come in and engage with us, because we want to leverage what you want to create a society that will last long into the future.
You might have heard about Next Generation Advisory Board or NGAB, and now you might be hearing a lot about the Young Professionals Committee. So just to give a little bit background, so SPE started Next Generation Advisory Board about 8 to 10 years back. Is that correct, Adam?
Around there, close enough.
Yeah. So NGAB has always been part of SPE to guide SPE or guide and advise on how the event should flow and how NGAB or the young professionals can be part of it. So over the course of the years, it has always been complicated between, as some of the membership for young professionals was called the Young Professionals Membership, whereas NGAB was a separate entity or a separate committee. So NGAB or SPE later on decided like, hey, there has been a clash, or there has been a confusion between what is next generation advisory board versus what young professionals do. And that's when Young Professionals Committee came into light and got dissolved, where NGAB got dissolved into Young Professionals Committee. And so now Young Professionals Committee is more or less NGAB, where they're trying to connect young professionals with the industry veterans, and just to be more forthcoming, to be more and more, to be more part of the SPE, and just to have a good bridge between the industry professionals and the industry veterans.
So many people who have come through NGAB and now the Young Professional Committee, it's like this great launch pad for getting involved so much more with the industry. So I think everyone here has another position in SPE somewhere in another committee or in a division or a section. So it really gets you involved and gives you that network to feel like you have a plastics home.
And it's not just for technical people. SPE covers business, professionals, sales, marketing. So I feel like if you work in the polymers or plastics world in any realm or scope, you will find a great opportunity with young professionals in SPE.
And we also have young professionals community. So no matter how old are you, you can always be part of the young professionals community. Yep.
I'm hanging out to my final years.
I feel like even after every one of us have been a part of this community for forever, we'll still want Adam to be a part of it because he speaks so very well. And that is how we are going to be getting more people, recruiting more young professionals. That is what my standing is.
Thanks. Thank you.
So Sneha, is there any specific electronics industry part that's creeping into what you're doing now with your company? Anything that's
so the specific, not so far directly involved with my work, but I think if you think about medical devices, say 5 years, 8 years down the line, they're going to be more than just communicating via so far they are programmed. You set certain parameters, and that is how they function. But I feel like 5 years, 10 years down the line, they're going to be totally different. So when I was in undergrad, and so I did my undergrad in fibers and textile processing, right? So all these things that Apple is working into currently, like sensing your heartbeat through your Apple Watch and all that smart fabric sort of thing. So that was the area that excited me to get into plastics in first place. And then now we are going from plastics to more and more interdepartmental research. What is that? What is the term for that research where one or more than one department, 2 departments are involved?
Interdisciplinary, right?
Yes, yes. Sorry, awesome. And thank you. And so yeah, more and more interdisciplinary work is going to happen. From it has already been happening, but it's going to be more of a thing going forward.
So we heard Erin already works in the field of plastics and electronics, and she's already using or is already part of somehow in the plastics and electronics. How about you, Adam? Are you into, is your research anywhere into plastics and electronics?
My prior job with T Connectivity North Carolina, we did a variety of work with electronic components for utility applications. So for example, we did work with Faraday cages, which are used in electrical applications. In the Faraday cage, I can't go too much into detail, but you have carbon black material put into a plastic or polymeric component, and it keeps your electrical field contained within your electrical wire. So there's a lot of science, and mainly was involved with dimensional tolerancing based on your electric field. But it was really cool to work on because you were doing electrical components and you were mixing polymeric electronics with wire and trying to keep people safe. So if they touch it, they're not getting shocked by the electrical wire, and you're also ensuring that all the power is maintained within that wire. So you get the most bang for your buck when you're transmitting power over very, very, very long distances. So it's really cool. Watching the application of it and the manufacturing of it was amazing. Definitely mind opening. Don't do that anymore in my career, but I learned a lot from it. And those skills I got from that job translate in new ways into the job I currently have. And again, the talks we have later this week, I think it's going to really bring back some memories and get me thinking like, hey, can I take some of these learnings and apply them again in what I do in my current job? So, yeah.
Exactly. So that is the main point behind all this, right? How can we implement some of it, some of what we learn into our own job as part of wherever we are at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely, and it re-inspires you. Sometimes you lose sight of what you've done in your previous job, previous undergrad research, even something you might have done as a child. You might connect a dot from childhood to a talk you go to and be like, I have this crazy idea. What can I do with it? So I'm excited.
So yeah, Adam, going back to your previous point, it must be so exciting to be a part of electronics industry and then switching over to apparel industry, but still being a relevant part of both the industries.
Yeah, I think the transition is really cool because clearly dichotomous worlds, but you take the learnings from a previous experience. They may not be directly translatable to your new role, but it helps you think in a different route, and those different ideas bring about novel processes, innovations, even novel teams, because you might be like, hey, I don't know a lot about this, but I know a previous or a company that knows a lot about it. Let's bring that company in, see if they can give us support on this innovation. So yeah, I definitely am thankful for the past experiences I've had because it's helped shape the capabilities I have as a senior engineer at this point in my career.
And so I was thinking about this particular talk in terms of your work. So how is that going to play a role in, prosthetics and all of that area?
I mean, a way that my company is trying to integrate sort of wearable, flexible electronic stuff is inside an amputee's socket. So the parts that's custom fit for someone to wear it. And we're trying to be able to integrate all that stuff that you would get in a smartwatch, but into the socket so they can get data and information about how they're doing, if they've impacted really hard, should get certain things checked out. So that's something that we've been looking into using that technology for. Are there other innovations in the plastics electronics space that you guys have heard about in your individual industries that you want to talk about?
I was always attracted to this, and it's irrelevant to the industry I work in, but it's tunable robots, and it's using pretty much a heat shrinkable plastic, and you run circuitry through the plastic, and through the heat in the plastic, it can cause a robot to fold itself together and self-structure. And I think that was by some researchers at MIT, but it's really it's a simple concept. Obviously, MIT researchers brought it to the next level, but you're literally just running heat through a heat shrinkable material, and the heat through the conductive pad just folds the robot together. And I think in the article it says a robot folds itself together and rolls away. I thought it was really cool when I saw that. So seeing technologies like that, it's just like, dang, that's amazing.
It is.
The flexible robotic space is really cool. Actually, my group is working on a project around that right now. I'm hoping to learn more about it because I'm been recruited to try to help create a poster for it. So learn more about it soon.
I think another area.
Or in the production mode of it.
I was on a flight last night. On my flight, you had the buttons in the window where you can press the button and it masks the light using
polarization thing. It's so cool.
Yeah, I forgot there's a term for it though. I want to call it birefringence, but that's not. It technically is some sort of. It's just changing the magnetic pole of your conductive material in the plastic window to make it opaque, and it's amazing how such a cool concept is really just polarizing a piece of material and plastic. So there's a lot of really novel applications that you see in your everyday life that you don't even realize. So like I was like playing with the window nonstop, and the person sitting 2 seats away from me was like, "Can you please stop?" Couldn't get over it.
No more first class for you.
I know, it's nice. It wasn't even first class, it was generic, the whole plane. So have you, I guess from our team, have you guys done any of the other one-day webinars that have been hosted by SPE?
The next one, plastics and food packaging, and I'm also trying to present for the same. So I haven't prepared for it, but yes, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, I feel like there's a lot of people like myself, Jamie, Erin, where we haven't really taken the opportunity to do these modules that are covered under your membership. So I'm happy I'm finally hopping on board. It looks like we're all finally taking that opportunity to really push yourselves to learn a different way, all from our living rooms, our kitchens, our bedrooms.
Yeah, and I'm actually really excited for the end bit of the conference because I've attended quite a few digital conferences now. And I think the thing that's lacking is how we can get people to interact and socialize and network like we normally do. So we'll be using the Remo platform where it allows people to pick tables based on different topics that they want to discuss, or even just want to share what they're drinking kind of thing, and just allows people to feel normal and interact the way that we would if we were at a live conference.
So SPE and YPC will provide you the virtual cocktail hour, just bring your own booze. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it as well. I have never attended any of these virtual cocktail events, so this is something I'm really looking forward to as well.
See you at the conference.
See you all on Thursday.
Yep.
Excited.
See you all on Thursday.
Guys.